this game and kind of now being behind the eight ball? I mean, do you stick with Dillon Gabriel after this game, or do you think about making a change?
Yeah, we're going to stick with Dillon. Obviously, this is young players that you're always trying to get one game better and those type of things, but we have to play better as an offense. We have to coach better.
Kevin Stefanski could feel the heat rising around him. In Cleveland, the frustration was no longer whispered. It was shouted. Fans were fed up, convinced that his handling of Shedeur Sanders was proof something had gone wrong, and many had begun calling for his job. How long could he keep pretending everything was fine before the weight of it all finally broke him? Was this the moment his time as head coach truly began to run out? And then somehow, he made the situation worse. After another rough performance, he announced he was sticking with Dillon Gabriel. For a frustrated fan base, it felt like a slap in the face. People weren't asking politely anymore.
I'm willing to die behind Dillon, to be fired because of not playing Shedeur Sanders. I'm willing to go down with Dillon Gabriel despite what anybody wants. That's what I got from that post-game response from Kevin Stefanski.
They were pleading for a real change, tired of the same explanations and the same defense of a quarterback who continued to make mistakes in the biggest moments. Gabriel's errors weren't minor. They were the kind that stole yards, erased scoring opportunities, and shattered the rhythm of an entire offense. Yet Stefanski insisted it was all part of a young player's development, as if these issues were normal growing pains. Meanwhile, fans and players wondered how long they were expected to stay patient while the offense stumbled week after week. At what point would someone finally admit that the plan wasn't working? Stefanski stepped to the podium and delivered the familiar line. "We have to play better. We have to coach better." But the words rang empty. Everyone knew he was the one coaching this team. So where was the improvement he kept promising? How could better coaching include continued trust in a quarterback who looked overwhelmed, struggling to read defenses and control the game? Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders sat on the sidelines, waiting, ready to spark an offense that desperately needed life. Why was Shedeur being pushed aside? Was it pride, fear of admitting a mistake, or just stubbornness? Week after week, the offense looked worse, and sticking with Gabriel no longer felt like development. It looked like denial. How long would it take for Stefanski to realize the Browns weren't going anywhere as long as they held on to a quarterback who kept dragging the squad down? And Shedeur, how long was he expected to sit, watching the team struggle, knowing he had the spark to flip the season? Fans wanted answers. The team deserved better, and Shedeur had earned the chance to lead. Gabriel simply wasn't delivering. At what point would Stefanski make the move that everyone else had already accepted as obvious? Stefanski's latest statement, simple, blunt, telling, made it clear. He was locked in with Gabriel. No matter how bad things looked, no matter how loud the fans protested, no matter how ready Shedeur was, it was as if Stefanski was willing to risk everything. His job, the season, the trust of an entire city, just to protect Gabriel. To many, it didn't look like leadership. It looked like stubborn loyalty to the wrong player.
Stefanski talking so much, because now we don't want to talk, we want to watch film. Your job is to be a head coach of this team. Get them in the best position to win. Obviously, you guys haven't been winning. You're 0-5 in the division, and you are 2-7 right now. You got a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders who everybody thinks he's really, really good, or some people don't think he's really, really good. Let's find out. Yeah. Because the quarterback you have right now is just playing okay. He ain't doing nothing special. He watches the games. It's his team. Is Gabriel that much of a better quarterback? It's okay, we're cool here? No. Why wouldn't you play him? I'm telling you, it's something there. I haven't seen anything like this where if I'm a head coach or a GM,
Meanwhile, Shedeur remained ready, focused, locked in, putting in the work every single day. Yet Stefanski continued to cling to a quarterback who struggled week after week, while the real spark sat right there, untouched and overlooked. Cleveland's frustration was reaching a boiling point. How long was Shedeur supposed to wait while the coach leaned on a fading option, letting the squad suffer? The city deserved better. Shedeur deserved his moment to lead. Fans felt the only real solution was a full reset, giving Shedeur the opportunity he'd earned and moving on from a coach who no longer looked capable of steering the team back on track. They were tired of speeches, tired of explanations. They wanted results that actually showed up on the field. A head coach's job at its core was simple: put the team in position to win. But the Browns sat at 2-7, struggling just to stay afloat in their division. And nothing seemed to change instead of making the switch so many believed could shift the season. Putting Shedeur on the field, Stefanski continued to play it safe with Gabriel, whose performance had been, at best, just okay. Gabriel hadn't shown anything extraordinary to justify keeping Shedeur on the bench, especially when so many believed he could ignite the team. Shedeur had the talent, drive, and leadership to breathe life back into the chaos. Yet week after week, he was forced to watch the season unravel in slow motion. How much more could Cleveland take? When would the organization finally bring in the kind of football minds who could develop talent and change the franchise's direction? From the outside, it felt almost surreal. A player grinding day after day, showing up early, staying focused, doing everything a leader should do, and still being invisible to the decision makers who could change his future. The whispers around the league suggested tension in the locker room, a culture of caution where no one wanted to speak up.
This thing plans out, but I'm telling you guys right now, it looks like a Colin Kaepernick situation, just in a more covered up situation. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but it just looks very, very weird.
That wasn't the energy of a winning team. A true leader would push through the chaos, rallying the squad instead of letting them drown in silence while mistakes repeated themselves every week. Cleveland begged for a spark, and Shedeur was the only one who looked capable of bringing it. Yet Stefanski kept the offense trapped inside a cycle of hesitation, pride, and fear. Ignoring the player who might actually save the season, fans felt trapped between pride and progress. Somehow, pride kept winning, even as the team kept losing. Something had to give. Across the league, whispers grew louder. Reporters, former players, and rival coaches wondered what was happening behind the scenes. A quarterback with talent, ready and waiting, was being overlooked while the team collapsed. Other teams watched closely, knowing if Cleveland wouldn't use him, someone else would. The thought of Shedeur shining elsewhere sent a ripple of anxiety through the city. A team with this much talent shouldn't look this lost. Yet the same problems repeated week after week. Keeping Shedeur on the bench wasn't just a football decision anymore. It felt personal, as if someone feared what would happen the moment he proved them wrong. That kind of fear was dangerous, especially for a franchise already teetering. If the chaos continued, Cleveland risked more than another loss. They risked losing the player who could genuinely change everything. How could a coach justify keeping him on the sidelines while sticking with someone who repeatedly put the team in tough spots? At this point, it didn't even feel like football anymore. Why wasn't anyone in the locker room stepping up? How long was Shedeur supposed to wait while the Browns crumbled? When would someone finally show courage and put him where he belonged? This wasn't just questionable coaching. It was a failure to recognize the future of the team sitting right in front of them. Change was overdue. But would Stefanski and the front office finally make the move everyone had been waiting for? Or would they continue dragging the team down by ignoring the one player who could genuinely turn things around? The questions hung heavy over Cleveland. Should Shedeur finally take control of the Browns' future? The answers weren't just up to the coaches. They belonged to the fans, the city, and anyone who had been watching this story unfold week after week.